Then I would like to ask and to provide floor for Dr. Julija Savickė, which is representative from Vilnius University. And Julija is the project officer at ARCUS Alliance. ARCUS Alliance is one of the European University Initiative Alliances. Julija?
Yes, hello everyone. It's an honor and pleasure to see you all here today and to have a possibility to present ARCUS Alliance, which I'm a part of. I am ARCUS officer from Vilnius University. And let me share with you my presentation where I'm gonna introduce you with the ARCUS activities. Okay, so ARCUS is one of the European University Initiative Alliances established during the first round, the first call. We were among those first wave of university alliances. So we are already some years in working together between partners and establishing common visions of the future of the university. So I am going to focus my presentation on the alliance itself, on the main goals established within the ARCUS Alliance. And well, I decided to focus on some particular activities which we have in ARCUS, which maybe are not the most significant or not the most popular, but the activities I do personally think are interesting to hear and interesting to adapt either to other alliances or to some other universities, or just in general be beneficial and interesting to the broader audience. So, as I said, the ARCUS Alliance has been established during the first call of European University Initiative. We are 7 long-standing comprehensive universities. Well, frankly speaking, all the 7 universities who form the ARCUS Alliance are very much alike. We are all rather old universities. We're all rather medium-sized to large universities. In total, the ARCUS Alliance unites 300,000 students, which is rather a lot. And we do have very similar features among our universities. We have classical structures, we have a rather wide selection of study programs, we have wide research focuses and research topics our scientists work on. So, you know, when very like-minded universities come together, they usually have an idea of, all right, so we are very similar. What different and what new can we do with us? What can we share with each other, not to just duplicate what we already do? And when we met with our partners, when we discussed and developed the project, the application to the European University Initiative, we found out that each university has something very exciting, what they are doing or they're planning to do, or their visions on the future of the universities are very exciting and very looking forward. So we decided, why not to achieve the synergy of combining the excellence which every university holds into the major unit, I would say, or entity, which will allow all those excellences come together and work together to benefit all the partners. So 7 universities who form ARCUS Alliance are Granada, Bergen, Leipzig, Lyon, Graz, Padova, and Vilnius University, which I'm the representative of. And as you can see from the geography of our alliance, it covers almost all parts of Europe. So we do not have the regional focus on some parts or on some specific cultural focus, I would even say. We are really broad European alliance who has very different cultural and geographical and economical backgrounds. So having those similarities and those differences in all together, it's very exciting and very interesting to be able to come together and to work together on the things we do think are important and the future of Europe and the future of universities as such. So the mission of ARCUS Alliance, the broad mission, is to build bridges towards this shared common mutual future of the universities. And by developing the mission, we employed this classical tripartite approach to the university excellence, which covers 3 areas: education, research, and society or social responsibility. So at our mission, we are dedicated to enhance the education of global and European citizens, contributing to the multilingual, multicultural, and inclusive spirit of the academia. We are striving at increasing and improving the research by joining our forces, either infrastructural and or intellectual, to achieve the expertise and excellence in the areas we do think are important and relevant. And third, we are aiming at responding to the raising societal challenges such as climate change or diversity or any other matters which are currently on agenda everywhere. And we, as an alliance, would like to set our activities in a way that they respond and help overcome those challenges which prevail in the modern world and the modern society. We have set major goals, 7 major goals for our alliance, which is integration, enabling people, quality student learning, widening access and inclusion, multilingualism, entrepreneurship, and research and early career development. For achievement of those goals, we have created strategies, 6 strategies to help us achieving those ambitions, those goals of our universities and alliance as a whole. So the first strategy, which is called people-oriented, we try to provide benefits for all the members of the university communities, whether it's students, researchers, or stakeholders, or administrators, to be able to fully benefit from all the activities Alliance has inside of it. So making it for people, but not just with people. The second strategy is focused on acting as a kind of experimental laboratory for innovation and studies and research. So we try to embed and encourage somehow bottom-up approach to let our communities, let our universities propose and share their best practices and make those practices work among all other partners. So everyone is able to have a floor for improvements, for innovations, and those trials and errors, as soon as they become successful, they're implemented into the policies of all partner universities and become a common standard. Mobility and recognition. We have set a very ambitious goal to enable a seamless and stress-free mobility and recognition of all activities, all experiences gained within the alliance to all the members of the community. So our strategies align the processes and procedures of each partner university in a way that they correspond to each other, and there are no bureaucratic borders for moving between the partner universities, for learning and researching within the partner universities and being recognized for such an activities. Our governance strategy is also designed in a way that we try to include, and we actually do include, members of the different levels of governance structures, starting from the student council, which is one of the primary governing bodies within ARCUS Alliance, and up to rectors, vice rectors, different professionals. So the goal is to invite professionals from very different levels and very different fields to contribute to the creation of common policies and common strategies, and being open to them to provide their excellence and expertise. We also are implementing the openness mindset to our alliance in a way that we develop policies and strategies for enabling open science, open publishing, and openness of different learning materials, research equipments, and everything else, to not only to the ARCUS partners, but to the broader community, and fostering this idea of science and studies being open and accessible to everyone in the world, to transferring this intellectual potential to the broader world. And the final strategy is sustainability. Actually, here I would like to stress out that some alliances, which, well, I have talked to years ago when the initiative has only been run, some alliances have this approach that this is a project, okay? The alliances have a duration, have some financing period, and that's, yeah, we start, we finish, we have outcomes, and that's it. Here in ARCUS, we try to go beyond the project idea of the alliance and focus on rather sustainable cooperation, which will last regardless of when the project gonna be finished, when the financing and funds gonna be finished. We try to embed as much as we can, as many initiatives as possible into our existing policies, into our existing governance, to be able to maintain all those things and innovations we have come with within an alliance in the broader, in future periods, and maintain these connections with our partners, regardless of the juridical status of our alliance. So to achieve our goals and to enable our strategies, we're working on 6 action lines. Engage European citizens is run by Bergen University. This action line is focusing on global dimension, on societal challenges of the curricula and research. We have student-centered frameworks for quality learning, which Vilnius University is in charge of. Here we focus on the quality assurance among the partners and beyond, and aligning to the European approach to modern European policies within higher education. We have multilingual and multicultural university led by Leipzig, which helps and strives for making the alliance not only speaking one language, but recognizing and embedding the multilingualism and multiculturalism in all the activities, whether it's mobility or it's general studies or it's research or anything else. Padua is leading widening access, inclusion, and diversity action line because we believe that ARCUS is a place which shall be available regardless who the person is, how they look, how they feel. And again, starting from very simple things like meetings and different outside activities up to the study accessibility and accessibility of research resources to anyone. And we have entrepreneurial university and regional development run by Lyon University, which aims at fostering the entrepreneurship culture among academia and students, with extensive focus on student entrepreneurs and PhD entrepreneurship. And then we have the research support led by Graz University. And we have Granada University, who is in charge of all the project activities and project management. So as I said previously, I would like to focus the rest part of my presentation on more interesting to hear and more exciting things we're doing at ARCUS, which are both innovative and at the same time easily adopted and transferred in any other alliances or other universities, which we do find are already giving extensive added value to the ARCUS Alliance and its partners overall. So first, I would like to focus on the research and innovation, which is ARCUS's I would say project within project, I would call it so, and it's extended project within the action line 6, the research action line. So, and it's also currently received the H2020 funding for the activities within this research and innovation. And the main idea here is to enhance the research and innovation dimension in the alliance by joining forces, joining the intellectual potential which we have within the ARCUS Alliance, and making the best out of it to achieve the excellence in research. So the research and innovation actually focuses on 3 main areas, which is joint science and innovation, new perspective in research, and openness to the society. But I just would like to stress out that the things which I would like to mention are not the only things that ARCUS Alliance is doing in this research and innovation area, but those are rather things which already take place or which we consider as very beneficial and very tangible and added value, or which would those activities provide to all of the partners. So starting with the research equipment pool, we have embedded the EUREP tool for mapping the research equipment of all the partner universities to see what infrastructure overall our partners possess, and to create a kind of offer to all the researchers who would like to take opportunity of either physical infrastructure or software or laboratories or any other equipment possessed by partner universities by seamlessly coming to any infrastructure and using it for their research. And this, I think, is very important for joining together what every university already has and making it accessible to the researchers who really need it. Moving forward is the cluster map, which we have developed very recently, and we had a session very recently discussing it. It was a huge project where we took a look on all the research patterns taking place at partner universities and looking for the links between partners. And we have identified paths of how our universities were working in prior to the ARCUS Alliance, and they saw that actually those connections, as I mentioned in the very beginning, were there before, but they were not used properly. They're not employed properly. But now, as we see interlinks between our partners, and based on those interlinks, we have developed the joint research focus strategy, which will enable using the excellence and connections of every partner to focus on top-level research at particular areas. So the roadmap shows our research areas in an upcoming period of few years, or with the potential to be extended in upcoming future. Now, currently, we have identified the two very cross-disciplinary and very broad areas, which is artificial intelligence and digital transformation, and Green Deal and climate change. So those gonna be particularly prioritized and focused areas of our research plans and our joint work with the researchers between ARCUS partners. To foster this and to help with the implementation of the roadmap, ARCUS Alliance organizes the research focus forums and the research internships, mentorships, and different other, initiatives to bring researchers working in alike fields and working in this major fields which we have identified as the strongest ones within the Alliance. So we bring them together to not only share their ideas and share the research, but also be able to work and establish the new initiatives, which obviously are supported and nurtured by the ARCUS procedures and processes. The same thing is which currently becomes very active and very popular within the Alliance is the early stage researchers mentorship programs, especially for the PhD students who are able to come to any research lab or research group to be mentored, advised, and even tracked with their PhD thesis progress in order to have the access to the researchers who are really expertised in the area those students are working on. And I see that time is running very, very fastly. So speaking of citizen research, this is something very new to Vilnius, to be honest, but also some expertise has already been held within the ARCUS partners. The idea and the thing we're working on is giving a floor to the citizen researchers, citizen scientists, to be able to present their projects, get support for their projects, get involved with different stakeholders in support for the citizen science projects. And also, we're going to pilot some citizen science projects and maybe come with the huge research outcomes, starting from the initiatives from regular citizens and developing them up into the real research. Okay, so another area which I would like to touch is the study innovations, and especially with focusing on study quality. This is not a side project or a project within a project as it was with the research and innovation, but this is something I have distinguished among all the things we do in ARCUS as a very impacting initiative and very impacting processes which take place within the ARCUS because they affect a lot of this 300K students are all involved and affected by this innovations in study quality initiatives. So briefly mentioning, we have the pedagogy lab, where the teachers and academic staff from all the partner universities can test out their innovative models and tools for education, such as flipped learning, blended learning, or embedding research into learning, and tested throughout all the partner universities, all the partner academics, in order to make sure whether those tools are applicable to the alliance partners or not, whether those tools can be further developed or we need additional support. In this case, we're providing as an alliance teaching, coaching, mentoring, and training for the academic staff to further strengthen their innovative initiatives and innovating tools use in the learning and study process. As following this openness idea of the ARCUS Alliance, we have created the Learning Object Repository, which enables every teacher spreading their materials, their course slides or readings or notes or everything among partner institutions, so that the researchers or academics in the field can use them seamlessly and exchange the know-hows which are held within teaching experiences. Very major thing, and which I am very proud of within the ARCUS Alliance, is the mobility windows. This is not a new concept to European universities and the majority of the universities, I believe, but bringing the mobility windows actually to action, enabling all students easily move and use this mobility window within their study program to gain SCTS credits in partner institution by choosing every activity they want. It's actually a big thing in terms of procedure itself. So here at ARQUS, we have achieved, we're having 7 pilot study programs, which will apply mobility windows inside of them. And for enabling the smooth mobility windows execution, we have worked a lot on creating open mobility agreements and joint program catalogs available for all partner students, so that, for example, if I'm a student of, let's say, Graz University wanting to have my mobility windows in all 6 remaining universities, I just open my course catalog, I choose whatever I wish, and I'm able to go to every partner institution how many times I want and receive my SATS credits from whatever I wish, seamlessly, without any additional agreements, without any additional bureaucratic steps. And one more thing, which I do also think we hold leadership currently, maybe even on the European level, is working on joint program evaluation and accreditation. So I know that other partners, other alliances are also working on joint programs. We also have 3 piloting joint programs, but we extended this goal of creating joint programs into something bigger. We are running and trying to bring together European national accreditation and certification agencies for the dialogue to create a policy within the Europe which would allow more smooth and more easy joint program accreditation. Because I believe that everyone who has ever tried to establish a joint program has this problem of how to balance between 3 or 4 different national agency requirements within one program itself. So we are trying to be leaders in implementing the European approach to the joint programs, and we are trying to bring together national institutions to discuss and work on really how to make joint programs work easier and smoother. And by the way, we had one event on this today, and we're going to have another huge event on joint programs on the 6th of May. So I invite you all to participate. And to wrap up the things we do into innovating the studies, we adapt the challenge-based learning. Actually, this thing is rather new for the majority of partners, as surprisingly it appeared within the Alliance, but we had the goal of piloting and establishing 2 programs purely based on the challenge-based learning, and to create a massive open access course for methodology of challenge-based learning, to enable academics to get familiar with this method, to get an idea how to implement this method and embed it into their curriculum. And the last but not least is a very exciting project of enabling student entrepreneurs. I also know that some other alliances apply this as well. But in our case, the idea is to bring together different student entrepreneurs and make them share their experience and their ideas whenever they would like to extend their business and their operations into the international context. So we work with different partner incubators in all the partner countries to be able to provide our student entrepreneurs with mentorship, coaching, and actually visiting other incubators and testing their products and their businesses within those incubators, and with established businesses all outside their home country in order to strengthen the potential of this entrepreneurship. So I think that's gonna be it from me. I tried my best to be as short as possible, but as I am a professor myself, you know, all the professors I had this problem of speaking too much. So I hope I haven't bored you, and thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Julia, for your presentation. I would like to ask you one short question. Just one. Could you tell us one thing from your alliance which you found and which you're going to bring on the table in the process of construction of new European university? So what will be the element from your alliance into the general picture of new European university?
Thank you for an excellent question. I would say for me personally, well, you know, I can only speak on my own personal expertise behalf. And I would say what I would bring to the table and advise to all of the future universities is to have the seamless mobility of all the stuff within between any European institutions, between any authorities, even globally. Because my personal opinion is that being able to go and see how others are doing and being able to be a part of what others are doing is the best way to share practice, to share knowledge, to gain an experience, and to strengthen the overall potential. So only by moving between each other, I think we can develop a really strong and sustainable academia and research.
Okay,
So
so
I would say this would be
the answer would be mobility.
Yes,
okay.
yes. Bye.
Thank you very much, Julia, for the presentation. And I would like quickly to switch into the presentation of another alliance.